Okay, hello everybody. My name is Jameson Chase Young, and this is Coins and History. Today I'll first be talking about my 1896 Philadelphia Mint, and then we'll talk about the very first Olympics, modern day Olympics, that happened in 1896. Obviously, everybody loves the Morgan silver dollars. I think they definitely are the most collected coin in American history. And the 18 Morgan silver dollars are really nice because, they're like in between. They're new enough. They're newer than the older Morgan silver dollars. So they're new enough to look really nice, but they're still old enough to have that like cool tarnish look that everybody likes. Because, I have a growing collection of Morgan silver dollars. And the 1890 ones are always pretty good, it seems like. I got some 1870s, 1880s ones that are pretty worn and torn. And I got some 1921s that, they looks like they came out 10 years ago. So they kind of lose that cool look to them. They don't have that tarnished look to them. But the 1896 is like that perfect meet in the middle. It's also kind of a meet in the middle in terms of error, it's not quite in the Wild West, but it's not quite in the modern era. But it's getting into the modern era, as our next story that we'll talk about, the 1896 Olympics. It was, the first international games where everybody came together. So it's getting into that modern era, but not quite yet there. As far as how many of them there were, the internet was a little bit unclear, but there was roughly a total of 20 million, give or take, total 1896 Morgan silver dollars minted that year. And then the Philadelphia Mint minted 9,976,000. The New Orleans Mint minted 4,900,000, and then the San Francisco Mint minted right around 5 million. Their overall designers, George T. Morgan. Their composition is silver. They're 90% silver, 10% copper. Their weight is 26.73 grams. Their overall silver, how much silver they have in them total, is 0.7734 of an ounce of silver. And their diameter is 38.1, and their edge is reeded. Yeah, these are a great coin. They for me, it seems like they have like a perfect meet in the middle as far as not too tarnished, but not too nice looking. And I really love my Morgan silver dollars from the 1890s, especially this Morgan silver dollar 1896. And the Philadelphia is a nice mint. They minted quite a few of them. And it was during this year, 1896, when the world held their first modern day Olympics. Modern because they used to hold them back like in the ancient Greek days. But in 1896, the Athens Olympics was the first modern Olympics. It was revived by a Frenchman named Baron Pierre de Coubertin after a 1,500-year hiatus featuring 43 events across sports like athletics, cycling, gymnastics. A little bit disputed on how many people participated. Some stats say 280 male athletes. Some stats say 241 male athletes. So there's a little bit of dispute on how many people partook. But 14 nations partook, mostly European, but also the United States. It was held in the refurbished Panathenaic Stadium. Hopefully I pronounced that right. And the most notable moments included the first marathon winner, Greek runner Spyridon Lewis, and the first modern Olympic champion was actually an American, James Conley of the United States. He won in the triple jump. This first modern Olympics in Greece, Athens, was held from April 6th to April 15th, 1896, 14 different nations. And actually, Greek athletes made up 65% of the competitors. So it was kind of like you can almost say the first modern Olympics was a Greek game where they just invited a few handful of people here and there. But all the others were either, from Europe or the United States. The winners were given silver medals, actually, at the time, while runners-up received copper medals. Retroactively, the IOC has designated the top 3 finishers in each event as gold, silver, and bronze medalists. 10 of the 14 participating nations won and earned medals. On April 6, 1896, James Conley, the American I was talking about, he became the first medalist in more than 1,500 years, competing in the triple jump. Although the United States won the most gold medals with 11, the host nation, Greece, they actually won the most overall medals with 47. The highlights were that marathon runner that we were talking about, and actually the most successful competitor was a German wrestler and gymnast named Karl Schumann, who won 4 events. Athens had been unanimously chosen to stage the inaugural Modern Games during a congress organized by Coubertin in Paris on June 23rd, 1894. The overall 1896 Olympic Games were regarded as a great success. The Games had been the largest international participation of any sporting event in all of history up to that date. After the Games, Coubertin and the IOC were petitioned by several prominent figures, including the King of Greece, King George, and some American competitors in Athens to hold the following Games in Athens. So they wanted them always held in Athens. However, the 1900 Summer Olympics were already planned for Paris, and with the exception of something called the Intercalated Games of 1906, the Olympics didn't even come back to Greece until 2004 Summer Olympics, so 108 years later. But ultimately, it's a very interesting thing. It's a, like I said with the Morgan silver dollar, it's a very interesting time period in American history and world history. It's kind of one of those time periods that was trapped in between two eras. It wasn't quite the Wild West, but it wasn't quite the modern day. Summer Olympics, that's kind of like a perfect thing to represent that time period, because the first international Olympics were held. So it kind of sums up the time period where things were becoming more of a globalized community. And that is what was going on when this 1896 Philadelphia was being minted. It's very interesting history. I love these Morgan silver dollars. These 1896 Morgan silver dollars definitely stand out as really great coins. If you enjoy these videos, please like the video and please subscribe to the channel. My name's Jameson Chase Young, and this is Coins in History. Thank you.